Once upon a time, in a land called America, men were men, women were women, children were children. During the summer, neighborhood streets would be filled with kids riding bikes, pickup baseball games, maybe even throwing rocks at unsuspecting cars that are driving by. They would come home to a mother and a father. Mom was cooking dinner. She was the emotional support system in the household. Dad was the financial support. He was the strength. He was responsible for guidance, for leadership. After dinner, Dad would turn on a Major League Baseball game or the NBA. His young son would join him, and they would watch athletes that emulated the type of strength and male leadership that he saw within his father at home. Sports mimic society. For the last 20 or 30 years, there has been a push to stifle normal male behavior. They like to call it toxic masculinity. Hollywood, the media, they portray the average man as some dumbass Neanderthal who doesn't think about anything other than sex. They like to portray the average man as weak, sensitive to his feelings. You watch television shows, you watch movies, in most cases, the woman is in the position of leadership. The feminist movement is one of the worst things to happen to American culture. On the surface, it was okay. It was supposedly all about female empowerment. Girl power. Bad bitches unite. I don't need no man to help raise my child. Hell, I don't need no man to conceive my child. According to Megan Rapinoe, all I need is the woke cucumber. The real agenda, though, behind the feminist movement is the same agenda behind the BLM movement, the destruction of the traditional family. Weaken men, empower women, destroy the dynamic of the relationship, and watch the divorce rate rise. The problem is, it worked. The modern woman is desperate for a real man. The modern man desperate for a real woman. Both are increasingly hard to find. They're becoming an endangered species. The streets are littered with weak beta males. Like I said, sports mimic society. If you want to see the biggest collection of beta males, just look to the NBA. This league was once dominated by alpha males, strong men. Jordan, Bird, Magic, Kobe, Shaq. Men so strong they only needed one name. Back in the 90s, early 2000s, there was no bitching and whining in the NBA. There was no sensitivity. There was no lashing out at the media because they criticized your game. Throughout his career, the media was relentless in their criticism of Shaquille O'Neal and his inability to shoot free throws. You know how he responded? He made them laugh. He won rings. I can't shoot free throws, but I can win championships. Larry Bird, he was criticized for being too slow. Kobe was criticized for being a ball hog. Same with Michael Jordan. And Michael Jordan was also criticized for his love of gambling. You know how many times they complained about hurt feelings? None. Men don't fucking complain. Men don't show weakness publicly. These men did not respond with words. They didn't respond by lashing out at the media or their fan base. You're a meanie. You hurt my feelings. Unfortunately, there is a severe lack of real men in the modern NBA. And one of these examples I'm about to share with you, Steve Kerr, he should know better. He played alongside the alpha of all alphas in Chicago for years. But we're going to start with Russell Westbrook. I once again find myself coming to the defense of Skip Bayless. Skip Bayless has one job, generate controversy. He does so by saying outlandish things, coming up with these narratives that no rational person would agree with. But sometimes Skip Bayless is right. For 10 years, Skip Bayless has referred to Russell Westbrook as Westbrick. Now, for the majority of that time, Russell Westbrook didn't care. He was averaging a triple-double, putting up 31 points a game, making the playoffs every season. Who gave a shit what Skip Bayless thought? However, over the past 6, maybe 8 months, Russell Westbrook has taken exception to Skip Bayless calling him Westbrick. Why? Because he knows it's true. Anytime someone gets overly offended by something said about them, they know it has an element of truth to it. Last week, Skip Bayless was tweeting about the NBA draft. He mentioned the Lakers' second-round draft pick, a player that no one gives a shit about and will likely never touch an NBA floor. But check out the response from Russell Westbrook. "Watch your mouth. Don't say anything you wouldn't say to my face." From time to time, I will make fun of Skip Bayless, but one thing that I will say about this dude, he does not back down from a challenge. He invites Russell Westbrook to come on Undisputedly Woke. They'll have a nice little cat fight, and after the show, enjoy a nice woke hug celebration. Shay will bring the cucumber, Russ can bring the lotion, Skip will provide the commentary. Oh, Shay is prepping for the dual finger. Westbrook can barely contain his excitement. This next tweet from Skip Bayless, it says it all. It speaks to the mentality of the modern NBA. Instead of men stepping up to be the leader, everyone wants to be the victim. Skip Bayless, all he's doing is doing his job. His job is to critique athletes. Russell Westbrook's job is to win titles, something he's never done, likely never will do. But it gets even worse. My God, does it get even worse. All my women out there, if you never believe anything that I say, believe this. There is nothing more emasculating to a man than for a man to be criticized or verbally attacked by another dude and his woman comes to his defense. Don't do it. Every once in a while, my girlfriend, she'll get upset by something said in the comment section of one of these videos. She will complain to me about it, bring it to my attention, but she would never publicly respond. It's not her place. Just like it's not Nina Westbrook's place to involve herself in this catfight between her husband and Skip Bayless. Check out this bullshit. First of all, how in the hell is Skip Bayless tarnishing your family name? If anyone is tarnishing the Westbrook legacy, it's your husband. There are charity basketball players in the WNBA with a better jump shot than Russell Westbrook. Yeah, I can't believe I just said that either. That might be the first time I've ever said anything positive about the WNBA. But second, Nina Westbrook is following the lead of her husband and painting her entire family as the victim. Oh, today's a sad day for me and my daughters. Now we have to deal with this meanie making fun of my wife who identifies as my husband. Mrs. Westbrook, let me share a harsh reality with you. No one cares about your hurt feelings. A couple of months ago, she was whining about her kids being called Westbrick at school. She claimed they were being bullied. You know what we used to call that back in the 90s? Education. That's life. Deal with it. If the worst thing that ever happens to your children is being called Westbrick, I think they're doing okay. If I'm Russell Westbrook, I'm telling my wife to know her role. How dare you say that? That's misogyny. No, it's reality. It's called gender roles. We all have them. The role of Nina Westbrook is to support her husband in the background. You're not supposed to be front and center, stirring the shit stew. Nina Westbrook's only making things worse. Your husband's not a victim. Your family is not a victim. Your husband's going to make $47 million this season to not make the playoffs. I guess we have woke welfare in the NBA too. Russell Westbrook's one of the highest paid players in the league. He hasn't made it past the first round of the playoffs since 2016. And you think he should be exempt from media criticism? What is Skip Bayless supposed to do? Lie about him? Russell Westbrook can't hit a 3-foot jump shot, but he plays the game with passion. I like him. The truth is ugly. If you're sensitive, if you can't take the criticism, if you can't take a volatile fan base, you're in the wrong business. Steve Kerr should know this better than anyone. But old Stevie, he's become soft in his old age. The Steve Kerr of the 90s would be disgusted by the Steve Kerr of today. Once upon a time, this dude was tough. He had balls. You gotta have balls to stand up to Michael Jordan the way Steve Kerr did. But over the years, and many woke baths later, Steve transformed into Stevie. This dude is so soft. Last week, he was on the Point Forward podcast, and he once again went after fans in Boston. They were being mean. They said, fuck you, Draymond, instead of saying Draymond sucks. The NBA's a family atmosphere. Draymond's kid was in the arena, damn it. Oh, really? Like Draymond Green's son has never been exposed to foul language before.
Marcus, back right.
Marcus Thompson, the Athletic. Draymond, how do you feel you played?
Like shit.
Now we have NBA coaches trying to tell fans how to behave. This league, they cannot get out of their own way. Players are constantly at war with the mainstream media. Draymond Green talking about, we're making a new media. Players will be the media. Coaches, players are at war with their own fan base. Players are constantly lashing out at fans on social media through their own podcasting platforms. Then they wonder why no one's watching. Fans and media are two elements that are critical to the success of the NBA, and they treat both of them like shit. No wonder ratings for the NBA Finals were in the pooper. And don't give me this bullshit about the NBA being a family atmosphere, family environment. Was it a family environment when Black Lives Matter was painted all over the court? Last I checked, BLM wanted to destroy the traditional family. Was it a family environment when players were disrespecting the military, praying to the woke oak tree, and kneeling for the national anthem? Was it a family environment when LeBron James was using his social media platforms to influence people to harm police officers? Was it a family environment when Adam Silver and LeBron jumped in bed with China? Last I checked, they were breaking up Muslim families in China. I don't recognize the modern NBA. This is not the league I grew up watching. And it sucks because there are some real dudes in this league. They just get overshadowed by the weak. They get overshadowed by the men in their feelings. Draymond Green in his feelings. Steve Kerr in his feelings. Westbrook feelings. LeBron feelings. Klay Thompson feelings. Jaylen Brown. This dude was in his feelings so bad, he was talking about boycotting the NBA Finals because he was oh so emotional about gun control. Before I wrap up, let me address one thing real quick. I've seen a couple of comments, and I've also received several emails about this issue. This notion that YouTube is holding back the growth of this channel because of the content that I produce. I don't think this could be further from the truth. I feel like YouTube gets a bad rap sometimes. There is this belief that YouTube holds back people like me and promotes nothing but the woke. Now, I cannot speak for everyone. I can only speak from my personal experience. I don't feel like YouTube's holding me back. If anything, they are contributing to the growth of this channel. I would not be here without the support of all of you guys. That's obvious. But I also would not be here without the support of YouTube. I don't think YouTube really cares about the content. It's the advertisers that care. YouTube has to placate the advertisers. That's how this platform generates money. Certain advertisers, they don't want to be affiliated with certain content. That's their right. This same concept exists in radio and television. When you think about it, YouTube is just a massive television network. It's no different than Fox News, MSNBC, ESPN. They're not going to put ads on videos that aren't advertiser friendly. Now, is it frustrating at times? Yes. Are the guidelines very clear? No. Do I think they're stunting the growth of the channel? Absolutely not. I receive 10 million impressions every month. That is a huge number for a channel my size. That is 10 million instances where YouTube is promoting my content for free. There are millions upon millions of channels on this platform. Only 3.6% generate more than $12,000 a year. 3.6%. What kind of sense does it make for YouTube to purposefully stifle the channels that are generating all the money? Now, sure, there are situations of censorship on this platform. There have been times in the past where YouTube has demonetized someone temporarily or kicked them off the platform altogether. But there's always exceptions. For the most part, I've had no problems. When I've had issues in the past, YouTube's addressed it. I have videos flagged once, sometimes twice every week by the AI bot as content not suitable for advertisers. In most cases, they get approved once they're human reviewed. Now, it can be incredibly frustrating, but you know what? It's a hell of a lot better than working at my old job. I consider it a privilege to be on this platform. I consider it a privilege to be able to do this for a living. I have to play by their rules, just like Tucker Carlson has to play by the rules at Fox News, or Sage Steele playing by the ridiculous rules at ESPN. We have a hell of a lot more leeway here on YouTube than they have on TV and radio. Like I said, I can only speak for me. I can only speak for myself and my own experience. Now, I'm not naive to the fact that one day YouTube could demonetize me altogether. I hope it never happens. Do I think it will happen? No. Now, while I appreciate the sentiment behind your comments and emails about this, I know you guys are just looking out for me. I appreciate it, but it just hasn't been my experience. This channel's added 24,000 subscribers and over 5 million views in the last 10 months, with a large portion of that growth coming in the last 3 months. That would not be possible without you guys supporting me and sharing the content, but it also wouldn't be possible without the free promotion that I get from YouTube. Anyway, let me know what you think. Russell Westbrook, Steve Kerr, highlighting the softness of the modern NBA. Do you think it's offensive that Skip Bayless calls him Westbrick? Sound off in the comments below. Make sure to like and subscribe. Click the notification bell to receive all notifications from the channel. Best way to contact me is by email at btlkc84@gmail.com, KC_BTL84 on Twitter. I'll see you guys later.